You're listening to the Tracy L. Clark Show with me, Tracy L., where I'm going to empower you and teach you how to live your extraordinary life. Tune in every Tuesday, 8 a.m. Pacific on Transformation Talk Radio, where I combine ministry, science, and spirituality to reveal the steps you need to let go of your perceived limitations. Have you had the limiting self-talk over and over? Have you noticed you allow your fears to hold you back? If you're truly ready for change, I invite you to join me, Tracy L. Clark, and start your journey of transformation now. Welcome to this week's episode of the Tracy L. Clark Show. I am so happy that you have chosen to join us this week. I know you can spend your hours listening and shifting all over the place these days. And today's show is titled New Devil, New Level. And it's a term that I've used for a long time. And I want to explain what that is, how it can help you in your own life, and give you some, guidelines on how you can move through the sifting and shifting that's going on in your own world. And that's what I like to do every week when you join me here at the Tracy L. Clark Show, is to help you shift the energy behind the things that are making you feel stuck, behind the things that have made you feel less than, behind all of that information that comes up. And, quite often what happens is when we're out in the world, or we're listening to podcasts like this, or you're watching people on YouTube or wherever you might like to go get your information, we sometimes feel that, or will project that, oh, they're maybe doing better than I am, or maybe their life is better. And it's very easy to do nowadays. But one of the things I want to remind you is that every person on the planet, everyone will go through ups and downs. No matter how amazing life is, there's always going to be a little bit of a down. It just won't be as heavy as perhaps it was before. So I want to just thank that kind of God of removing that. If you feel that you have that, edge of like, how come their life always seems so amazing? And people ask me that myself. They're like, Chase, you have this great life. You've turned things around. I have, but it doesn't mean I don't have a down day. It doesn't mean things don't frustrate me. And this is one thing I really want our listeners to understand, because I get that asked a lot. And people think that if they've entered the spiritual world or the science or the ministry, whatever you're doing to try to better yourself and better yourself in your own life, that means a perfect life is always a joyous life. And it's not. It's where a beautiful life is knowing how to handle things when they come to you that you're not expecting, and also but being more in joy and more fulfilled on a more regular basis. And that is how, and if you've heard any of our past episodes, you'll know that that's how, I always say, that's how we create. We create by being in our joy and our harmony. We don't create by being in a tailspin. And that's why I'm so excited to do the show. It's summer. We're going to be outside playing more. I know I've been outside playing more and really soaking in the pathogens that are, and the new rays coming in from the sun, that beautiful scalar energy. So if you have questions today, you can call in. We will take your calls, 1-800-930-2819. Carter will make sure you get through. So please remain on the line and we will get to you. But new level, new devil. What does it mean? Why do I use the term? It's an old term, actually. Why do I like it? We'll say that. You don't hear it very often. Been around for a long time. Is it what I noticed in my life? And I want to use it as an example. And then as I'm talking, just sort of see where in your life have you noticed this may have happened for you. And as I've been moving, when I would move forward on things, or I would call it an upgrade. So what does it mean to upgrade energetically or spiritually, or however you want to look at that change? Basically, you're changing the way you do things in your life. So in the energy world, we call it upgrading your frequency. You're moving your frequency. So basically, if you're on the radio, you turn the dial on your radio, you're turning the frequency of your own energy system, meaning that you can connect with people differently. You can try new people to help you with what you want. Every time your frequency changes, something in your life will start to change. That's why the old will drop away and the new will come in. However, you can also find yourself where if you're moving forward and you're being quite joyous in your space, you're having fun, you're like, wow, I'm letting go of old thought patterns. These issues don't bother me anymore. And don't kid yourself, things can come up where they can bother you. It's not uncommon. So I had some things in the last couple of weeks, and there's like, sometimes people say things and you're like, really, did you just say that? And they will bother you. But it's how you handle it, right? So you'll start to move through, your frequency will move. And then all of a sudden, when the frequency moves or you're feeling joyous and you're moving through into something new, that's when I like to use that term. And you go, why did this person do that? Or where is this coming from? Or why did that come out of left field? And it can be many things. And what it'll do is you'll start to feel like your body, your frequency, your vibe is getting lower. You'll feel like you've been just, pulled down. And when you're feeling pulled down, this is actually a beautiful moment of learning. So, quite often, what do people do? Or have you ever found yourself where you're pulling down? Now, all of a sudden, you're in the energy, you're in it all the time. And now you're feeling more maybe anxious or depressed or frustrated, or why aren't things working the way I want them to work? And that's that new devil, new level. And if you can start to see the humor in it, you can go, I've been on a roll. I've been changing my life. I'm having a good time. I like my relationships. I'm bringing in new people. And it's almost like a Scud missile comes out. And it's just look at it. Like I always like to say in spirit, say, Mary, call it a test. And I'm kind of hesitant when I use that word, but I'll use what spirit says. So it's like a test. So it comes in to say, really, are you ready for that new level? Are you ready for those dreams? Are you ready to take action? So a few things you can do when that comes in is, one, say yes to yourself. Because if you understand the God consciousness, it is all within you, right? It's interesting because when these energies come out, a lot of people will spend time, outside of themselves saying, please, please, universe, fix this, please do this, please do that. When I'll tell you a key, if you actually just turn inwards and say, thank you, God, you can call it universe or divine, but thank you, God, that this is already finished. This situation is already completed and I can let it go. You're talking as if it's already done now, which it is, because it's within your own system, So when these energies come in to try to knock you off where you are at, knock you off your pedestal, what happens is, one, be very aware. Who are they? Are they old people that don't want you to change? Are they situations that need to be cleaned up before you can move forward? An example with that is I had someone who came to me and they were very concerned because their business was really going sideways. However, they had started a new business, but they had an idea of how they wanted the old business to transition into the new business. And when we looked at the energy, basically what's happening is they were like, well, how come this business is struggling? And I want it to look like this before I knew into the new business. I said, well, it's ready for you to start in the new business. So that's why all these issues are coming up, because it's really time to let go. So of that business, it's time to just cut it all off and move into the new. And it was interesting because a couple of weeks later, they called and said, you know what, when I did that, guess what happened? The new business started to skyrocket. So it was like, are you ready to let go? Are you ready to really embrace into the new dreams? And so as soon as they were, that old could start to move off. And that's why there were becoming so many challenges. A lot of times when we get a lot of those challenges in our life, again, new devil, new level, what happens is we got to clean out the old. So don't feed it. See really what is it? Are you ready to let it go? And who is it? Don't feed the energy though, because when you feed the energy and it'll start to pull you down. So when you start to feed maybe their negative comments, or you start to feed something that isn't as positive for you, and you really get ingrained in it, you're talking about them all the time, you're feeding it, you're giving fuel to that energy. Rather than, you can use the one simple tool. If you haven't done it yet, you can go to my YouTube and channel, which is on my website, tracylclark.com, and you can reset the hard drive. Thank you, God, reset, let go. Thank you, God, reset, let go. So you can remove the emotions, the energy and the emotions behind what they're feeding you, so you're not feeding it back. So it's no different than a fire. If you keep putting logs on the fire, it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Energy works the same way. So if you keep putting your emotions into something that isn't serving you or may not care about you, your fire is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. So we don't want to feed it. So you have your awareness, right? When a new devil, new level comes in, what's the awareness? When something wants to kick you off your path, or you're afraid to let something go. So what's the awareness? Don't feed it. And then the third one, what we're saying is like, don't get obsessed, and it can be a test. So say to yourself, is this a test? In truth, am I ready really ready to move forward into my next space. And that word is extremely powerful. So a lot of times I'll tell my clients this: if they're worried about something or they're unsure about something, you can say, thank you, God, show me the truth about this situation. Show me the truth about this person. Show me the truth about what I need to know more of. Watch what happens. 99% of the time, you will get answers where you're like, whoa, what happened? I had no idea. It just kind of came out of left field. I got the answer. Now I know what direction to take. So this is really, really key because there's simple tools you can use now, but now you can also use them to continue to transition in your life. And so now what I do, I used to do this all backwards. This is why I wanted to do this show. I would, every time I would transition, or I would get an energy boost, or I'd let old things go, I would have these energy attacks and things would come in, and I would feed it, and I'd be like, oh my gosh, why are they doing this to me? Or why is this happening? That was me. And then when I realized that, oh, I was in control of this, when a situation would show up, and now what happens when those situations or people, places, and things show up, or energies that are more invasive, I celebrate. And I know people say, how can you celebrate? I'm like, yes, this means new devil, new level. Yes, I'm moving to a new direction in my life. And now that I've turned it, I now hold that inner power within me. You can hold the inner power within you, and watch, because now the glorious thing that happens in my life that I want to just impart and give to you guys, if you can take that, is when you're excited about that and you go, yes, this means something new's on its way. 100% of the time, the new that comes into my life is way better than what I ever asked for. And that is a key. So I want to thank that hand of God. If you're struggling with something right now, I want to bind and cast and curse out this energy where it might just be that new devil, new level, and to really get you strong and get you into a place of alignment where you're like, yes, this means I'm changing. Yes, this means I'm going into something new in my life. And when you, that energy alone, if you feel that, if you tune into that, feel that, it feels so light. It feels so energized. Like, it's like, yes. So even though it may feel a little bit challenging at the time, pull that energy in and watch how quickly you will be able to change a circumstance going on in your world. Watch how quickly. Oh, we've got somebody banging at the door. We'll let them bang at the door. All right, Carter, I think we have a caller on the line, and I'm going to apologize because I think that guy is going to bang the door for hours. So we'll just see what happens.
All right. So first we have Lynn from Toronto. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Lynn. Oh, did we lose her?
Hi, Tracy. Sorry, I do apologize.
Oh, there you are.
Hey, I'm still here. I haven't gone anywhere crazy this time. My question is resistance. So the resistance to having somebody contacting back for work, the resistance to letting something come in when we're doing the work, but noticing there's still that little bit of resistance. How do we shift that energy?
Yeah. So resistance to the new, correct? And letting, as that
Correct.
news wanting to come through. A lot of times when we have resistance in our field, see, they're very persistent. Wow. That's a stronger. Sure. Has to happen today in our show. Well, we're live. This is what happens. A lot of times what will happen when we have resistance in our energy field, there is a block still within ourselves that, the spirit of resistance, it's like where it goes through. I want to make sure I'm looking at your situation. So I want to make sure I address your situation and then everything in general. So basically it's like, am I ready for this? So in your situation, it's like, am I ready for this? Am I ready to bring something new in? Am I ready to take hold of it? Because with that new direction, what I'm hearing from Spirit for you specifically is then everything changes. So it's like, mentally, so this is where the frequency hits, and I'll adjust it for you. So mentally, you get all that. Mentally, you're like, I'm ready for change. I'm ready for it to come in. So as we're doing the work, that is actually just like, thank you, God, reset, let go. I'm removing the resistance and I'm ready to now step into the new. And there's a really cool thing you can do with your body with this. And I teach this in workshops. I love this little tool. and it sounds so silly and so crazy because I don't know why people don't do it all the time. But basically, whatever you're resisting, so if you stand up straight and you literally step one side to the right and step one foot forward, and you say, I'm now actually, thank you, God, I'm letting go of this spirit of resistance. I'm now stepping into the new. I'm stepping into the new.
Got it.
Into the new. So I'm going to remove that. It's basically when we also have resistance, there's also hesitation that I have to remove as well. So I'm going to remove the hesitation because the way it's connected to the change. Oh, this person doesn't understand. Nobody's home. This is crazy. Maybe spirit is like, hello. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust the energy to actually increase your vibration to change the frequency of change within you, because there are some underlying fears still, and it's straddling you. So you've done really good work there. You can see you've got your left and your right, so it's straddling the right to the left to the right. So it's straddling both sides. So I have to remove that. Okay, thank you. Wow. I don't know about you. Has anybody ever heard somebody so persistent before? Okay, let's move this out. So I'm going to move. So what we're going to do is the right side. So remember, the left side is the energy where things are coming in, right? And then the right side are the old things that are letting go. So the reason we're straddling is I'm going to move your leg over, because what I want to do is actually move and increase the system to have the strength of letting go of the resistance. It's really cool, because what your spirits are actually saying is there's a fear of you having it all.
Yes. So right.
Yeah, they just said as soon as I moved your feet, your spirit guide just said she has a fear of having it all. That's the root, Rachel, that's the root cause of the resistance. That if you have it, you're not, that's your fear right there. How does it feel?
It feels correct. I can't say, you pinpointed.
Okay, so if you're all right, then I want to actually increase the vibration in the field to having it all. So that's going to be your saying is, thank you, God, release, let go. I'm actually ready to have, I have it all. You have to say, I have it all.
Thank you.
So not, I'm ready to have it all. I get chills. Don't say I'm ready to have it all, because that still puts the energy further out, right?
Okay.
So you know how I was saying at the top of the hour that when the energy comes in, right, it's like it's already within us. The God energy is already there. So it's like, thank you, God. I have it all. I embrace it all. So see how that feels. I'm bringing it all in. So all of those words, the positive, it's already here. It's already here. I'm bringing more things in. When you can start communicating that, I see it looks like a wheel right in the middle of your heart center here, and it's moving. It's turning, and then you're going to start to see the resistance. It looks like it just falls off the cliff. You're like, I'm going to jump in. Now there is a little caution with you though. Don't jump into everything right away. Still be discerning, because you're going to see things moving quickly, and then you'll be discerning to say, oh, am I ready for that? Do I really want to take that one? Yeah. Okay. I'm going to test it. So it's like they show you like putting your toe in the water. So just like testing the energy, and then that's okay. You can see, is this right for me or not? And then you can pull forward or backwards. Does that make sense?
Okay.
That's a great.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. That actually looks amazing. You'll have a good day. So go in the sun today.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Take care. All the best.
You're welcome. Lots of love. Bye. All right, Carter. Now that we see the dinghy may have stopped, I think we have Laura on the line. Is that correct?
Yep, Laura from Oakville. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Laura.
Hi, Tracy. How are you?
I'm great. How are you this beautiful summer day?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Good. Do you have a question or a thought? I'm sorry, you probably heard all the dinging.
Yes, I did. Yes, we're ready to let go, with all that dinging.
Yes.
Yeah, for me, well, I have kind of a couple of things, but for me, I found yesterday I did an energy exchange with a friend of mine, and she gave me a little reading. And one of the things Spirit was telling her is that I'm afraid, things are going well. I'm waiting for the shoe to drop.
Okay.
instead of
So
thinking
I
that
want to
things are
stop
going to
you
go.
there for 1 minute. And this is something that I actually, I just did a video on that. I can't remember for who or where. Just
Yes,
kidding. So
yes. I think I just saw it this morning.
did I do it? Okay. So in the Miraculous group, the
Yeah.
Miraculous Realm monthly partnership, I think
Yes.
I just did a video on readings.
Yeah.
Oh, and look, Cloud is going to join us today. If all of our listeners, Cloud has been actually quite sick and he's now coming back to life. So I'm so happy to see he's going to join us today. So he had his moment. So one thing, when she said that to you, what was the first feeling or thought that came up? Because I want you guys to understand how to discern as well when people give you information. So how did that feel for you when she said that?
I felt like just a big question mark. Like really? Because I feel like I don't know. I've been working so hard on things, and actually, this summer has been, compared to last summer, I've come like leaps and bounds. Being part of the Miraculous program and the support of you and the community is like, this summer is completely different. It's such a prosperous summer.
Yeah, beautiful. So this is what I would do. When that energy comes in, I'm going to remove some of it for you. When people, they mean well. So when they always mean well, everybody means well when they give this kind of information. However, okay, I can see the energy, what to say. They're wanting me to say something to you, actually. So when somebody says something like that, you can feel it right away, saying, actually, so your energy, the way it came up, I'm sort of, they're showing me is you didn't fully, you didn't disagree, but you didn't agree with what she said, right? So
that's right.
Yeah, say, well, perhaps, but I'm just going to actually, thank you, God, I'm cursing that information out. Now, you wouldn't say it to them, but you'd say it in your head, right? Cursing the information. Body, I'm not taking that in. Body, I'm not taking that in. That is a tool for all of our listeners, because I'd love to give you tools. Body, I'm not taking that in. Thank you, God. Reset, let go onto the hard drive for that. Then what I'd like to do is waiting for the other shoe to drop. Isn't really resonating in the field. What is actually more is the joy that you're in. This is actually where I'd like to align. You can see how it feels. But the way it's showing your field is that you're actually having a very joyous, lovely summer, and you're not waiting for the shoe to drop. You're actually saying, I'd like to bring more of this through into my life. So now you look like you're on, the little Lego blocks they're building. So everything's finally building. All the things that you've been asking for, all the things you can actually now, you're seeing them this summer come to fruition, right? And there's a lot more change. So if you're all right, I want to move you up the hill a little bit differently energetically. So we'll push you up the hill. And I'm just going to remove this statement out. I'm going to remove the statement and where you've heard the statement before. There's something interesting I've noticed when people work in energy, and I'm not sure. It seems to be more of a collective field. You'll see it that if things are good, then everybody's automatically waiting for something to sort of fall off. And like how I was saying, top of the hour, new devil, new level. But if you look at it like, yeah, I'm going to a new level, it doesn't affect you, right? It doesn't affect you at all. You don't have to wait for anything to drop. You're just going to go, yeah, I'm going to keep going. This means I'm changing. Awesome. Great. Right. And it almost looks like that there was a little bit of energy, I'm going to move out. And it wasn't done intentionally or anything at all. Not at all. It was just, it looks like an old energy line that, well, if things are going really well for you, I'd like them to be well for me as well. So there's a little bit of energy under there that we can pull off. And people don't even realize when they do stuff like this, they don't mean harm or anything. So we're not going to even put that in there. So I'll remove that. Okay. Now just go into the energy of the other shoe's going to drop. How does that feel now? Does it feel neutral? Do you feel charged still?
I guess I feel a lot in my solar plexus area.
Okay. Oh, yeah, actually what's coming up is the comment triggered wherever people didn't want you to do better for other reasons. So it's triggering all the people, places, and things where when you were doing better, how dare you do better kind of thing, right? So don't leave us behind. But it's showing multiple like lines in past life and then people in this lifetime that were like long. It's really old and it smells really musty. So that would be old imprinting. So we'll thank her for triggering that as well. And we can remove that out. How do they feel now? Let's adjust. How does that feel?
I almost felt like a wave, like kind of just go down out of my body.
Yeah.
Like
I feel like smiling and going, yeah.
Yeah, that would make me burp. For listeners like, why is she burping? I always burp when I clear energy. It's been 9 years of it. I was like, God, I'll do this full time. Thank you. But I'm not getting sick and it works. So I'm like, whatever, out it goes. Okay. So that feels way better. And your field actually now, the entire external field is a lot lighter. It feels better. So what I would do in future when you do the exchanges, just make sure that you talk that way and you just like, I'm not taking that in, reset, let go. But you can just do it quietly in your brain. So nobody has to hear that.
Okay. That totally makes sense.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for calling in. I know we have to take a quick break now, everybody. So we've got a few callers on the line. We're going to get to them when we get back. I want to encourage you, check us out, tracyLclark.com. I know we're redesigning a little bit of the site again. Everything will be under One Note Products, but we have a global online call tonight. If you'd like to join us, you can use the code Hot Summer, have 50% off. It's our last global online call for the year. We are now going to be putting those into our effortless realm, our miraculous realm, and changing how we do them. So they're going to be exclusive for those realms because we have a lot of people there that we want to support even more. So if you have time, want to get on 7 p.m. Eastern, we're going to talk a little bit more about the conversation we're having today, but also shifting of the law of attraction and all things in terms of the poverty spirit. It's not just about money. It's about every area of your life. So check it out, tracyLclark.com. Also join our 18-minute free audio download, Cleaning Out the Weeds, so we can continue to shift you. And there's lots of fun stuff there. You can find my social media, Instagram, YouTube, all that good stuff. All right, everybody, we will see you right after the break where we have Megan on the line and we will get to some more of your questions. See you in just a minute. Welcome back. All right, we gave you some tools at the top of the hour when you have an experience or an encounter, new devil, new level. We also had some excitement on our show, the loudest courier driver ever. We always have to have fun when we're live, right? That's what it's all about. So we have Megan on the line. We're going to get right into your calls and finish them off for you today. Megan.
Hey, Tracy.
Hi, welcome.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear with no dinging in the background. We're good. What's your question today?
Level.
Exactly, isn't it?
I feel like Tracy, I've been doing that for 3 years now. So I don't know. You tell me how many more years, but I keep going.
Oh, yes. Keep going.
I have a situation.
Yep.
I have a doozy for you. So it's a case of an unpaid debt for work performed tied with some sexual harassment. Same people, same situation. So now I know in my heart that I'll win.
Yeah.
But my struggle is at what cost? So there's the mental, there's emotional, there's financial. There's a lot of money going to the lawyers. There's a lot of strife. I understand there's karma. I understand there's bringing situations back into equilibrium. I'm asking God to show me more information, show me next steps, show me peace of mind while I go through this. I think there's a situation of me keeping the faith, but there's also a sense of me getting in my own way, and I'm finding I'm paralyzed with fear sometimes.
Yeah. And it's also every time you re-enter the case, it looks like you're pulling in, you're awakening, oh, chills, you're awakening other cell memories of other situations that would have been in alignment with what you're going through now. So in not being honored, not being seen, not being respected, and then, oh, you might make me gag on this one. Okay, well, I don't care as long as we move the energy out. So I'm going to start to remove all the accumulation of the past life energy. So the cell memory. So for people that may not understand what I'm saying, when we have trillions and trillions of cells in your body, they do store on the outside, there's energy and there's memory. When we actually come into a situation in our life that we're dealing with, you can awaken these other memories. Basically, it's the best way to say it. So it's like if you have your computer and all of a sudden you go in and you realize there's a file in there you didn't know was there before, and it may have disturbing information in it. And you're like, oh, why do I have this? I want to remove it out. So your body works this similar way. So what we need to do is actually increase your vibrational frequency to going through the motions, and we have to remove and start to remove the accumulation of the emotions out. So going through the emotions, we have to increase, but we have to remove the emotions out. You're correct. You're showing very high in terms of everything coming back to you. And because you're being dragged through a system that is very slow as well, right? So we have to actually put you in alignment to the system, and then everybody involved separate and together. So basically all the energies that look at your case, all the energies that are involved, and that's your financial, emotional, physical, mental, spirit, like the entire field. So let's start to align this. This is actually a massive, it's interesting because with the work you've done, a lot of the karmic endings, they show like they're pretty much getting all tied up. You're like at the end of that, which means you won't have to go through anything like this again. But we need to get the situation. What we want to do is, the spirit saying, we got to fast track to get all the people's eyes on you guys so you can move through the system quicker. So this would be like where people have come to me at times and they say, oh, I have a court date and it's like, 5 years out. That can take forever, right? But then all of a sudden they're like, oh, something changed and they got it like in half the time. And they're like, I don't know, it just moved. So what we want to do is get all the information collected quickly, but get everything moved so we can start to tie it up and you can actually let it go. There's more resistance on the other party's side than yours, actually. So there's some ties there that it looks like we can actually break, meaning that the other people, they want to have this fight energy. So hang on, that's kind of like that old right fighting, right? That's happening. So if you're okay, let's get rid of that. So we want to get you more almost numb to the situation. I know that sounds a little funny, or more neutral. So it's not affecting the emotional body. As soon as I clean out, it's kind of smells like, when you go to a pond that's really stinky, that don't move. Yeah, it smells like that. Yeah. So there's been some word curses. So I call this under curses, sort of witchcraft, spells, black magic. Sounds a little bit crazy to people that may not understand that, but they are energies. There is in the energetic world, and there is proof. So if you're in places like some places still do voodoo, very practiced in with countries like Africa and stuff like that, or witchcraft where they do lotions and potions, or curses also can become witchcraft. But I've got to remove this saying that's like, I'm going to stick it to her. I'm going to stick it to her. They keep saying this over and over and over. So it's sticking to you literally, right? So and then you feel it and you're sensitive. So I'm going to remove this because you can hear it's coming over and over and over. It's like, I'm going to fight, but I'm going to stick it to her. And then your body kind of is reacting. So rightfully so. And you don't have to hear it from them out loud. They're saying it. You can see wherever they are. So yeah, there we go. So the nice thing is they are all they show them a little bit drowning, when the heads just go under the water and come up, under the water and come up. So that's more why it's also in your favor. And the stronger you're getting in your own business, your own space, your own, moving forward, you can see this weakens and weakens and weakens. And I know the longer these situations play out, it's like, I I don't know if you've ever had, I know I've gone through this with our tax agency, you know, where things have gone on and I'm like, I didn't do anything. And you're in these kind of fights with them and years go by because they can't seem to figure out their stuff, right? It's the same energy. It's like, okay, and it wears you down. And that's what they're trying to do, is wear you down. So the more we actually get you moving into the joy and the fun and this space, and we look at this as this is right now, this is all I have to give you time. So it's very important for you that when that information comes up for you to deal with, this is the only time I have for it. And that's the only time you allocate. And if you have to walk around for the rest of the day, say, thank you, God, reset, let go. I'm letting that go. Hit your heart drive. Thank you, God, reset, let go. Clean the field, top of the head to the soles of the feet. Just remove it out. And literally it's crazy, but if you put your hand up, because it will signal, because of the physiology of the body will move, you have no more time and no more dominion in my space. I will deal with this when it comes, but no more. So we have to get you more assertive. It says no more. How does that feel when I move that for you?
Yeah, that feels good. Yeah.
Does that feel better?
Definitely. And everything you said, and everything you said resonated. You know, even that, unfortunately, that witchcraft stuff resonated.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And with that,
so,
like, I'm major chills when it comes down to the witchcraft. And that's the word. That's why it's like I'm breaking, binding, casting, cursing, all of that through, which is really fast, but we don't want to feed it anymore. So that's part of that new devil, new life. We can't feed it. So no logs on their fire. They get no more of your attention. And that's where really quick to say, like, you have no more dominion over me. Like, none. I am done with this. You only get the time I need to finish this to completion. Thank you, God, for allowing this to be completed, that this is completed now.
Okay.
And that pulls the energy forward for final resolutions.
Oh, yeah. That's what I need. Yeah. I'm just trying to pace myself in terms of timeline. Like, like keep going. It feels like seasons, you know, like every season is something new, but in this case, I'm looking at another year. Like, how long?
No, it looks like that's why I said we want to collapse the timelines to get you moving and get everything move forward quicker in a slow system. So you have to understand, it's not you, it's a slow system, right? That's a slow system you're working in. However, we can move it forward to get complete and final resolutions. So that's where we're moving to. So that's why I said only give them the time they need right now and keep collapsing the time frame. So we're collapsing them all. Thank you, God. Removing all the accumulation. There is nothing really left there to learn other than what Spirit keeps yelling is just a lot of patience. But there is a completion and there's full, and okay, I'm going to say it exactly how I hear it. There's full restitution for you at the end. So you would know what that means more than I would, but they said there's your guides. That's exactly what they said. There's full restitution for you at the end. So basically all of this will come back, you know, the way I would move that would be come back 10 times, tenfold to you.
Yeah, because I'm giving a lot to the lawyers, so just to resolve it.
Yeah, we want that done. And then there's some actually really, really nice man standing in your field. So there's a lot of gifts coming from that new person as well. It actually makes me want to kind of cry because it's actually really lovely. There's a full like care, like right there, like there for you on all. See, it makes me emotional. I don't usually get that emotional, but he's so present with you, you've never had. But he will repair a lot of the damage and the heartache, the heartbreak, a lot of that with you. Your partners, it's an actual union. And a lot of people aren't in union. It's a very different relationship when you're in union. Most people are just together to be together, right? But this is seeing you, hearing you, supporting you. Like you can literally they show like you can fall into him. You can just be you. Yeah. And loves what you do, by the way, too. So there's a big connection there. You're both big animal lovers and stuff. Loves everything. So it's actually really positive. Yeah, I'm going to put that energy in the field so you can bask in it because it actually is quite beautiful and it's quite healing and quite restorative for you. How does that feel?
Feels really good.
Yeah.
You know me. Everything I feel. So
you do. And it's right there.
Great way to end that.
Yeah. When I cleared out that energy, he just showed through. So hold on to that because it means it's already in your field, already done. So that's the beauty. So you're not going to be alone on that journey. So don't feel that way anymore. Reset it and let it go. Well done. Proud of you. We'll stay on that for you. Okay. Lots of love.
Thank you. I love you. Thank you.
Lots of love. All right, Carter. Do we have Karen on the phone still?
Yep, Karen from Ontario. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Karen.
Hi, Tracy.
Oh, there you are.
Hi, how are you?
Good. So glad to have you here today. What's your question for me?
I'm so excited. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I just love you, Tracy. I'm so excited to have this opportunity. So my question, Tracy, is I wanted to get your input on this, and I forgot to ask you this when we had our one-on-one session, but
Sure.
I had this opportunity last year where I was, because I'm in such a great place with my work and I'm in my mission, as you know. And I had this opportunity it was a naturopathy school in North York, the second largest one in North America, where I was invited to do a meditation for aspiring doctors. And I did that, and they wanted me to come once a month. So we were in the process of creating something like a contract where I can come once a month. But then the way they're very old school, the people at the higher top, and they all voted. They have that old dinosaur way of thinking where they vote. And they basically said no, even though I felt I was perfect because it totally aligned with the school's mission, naturopathy, holistic. And I just thought, if you can give me more clarification, was it something that I had some sort of resistance?
No, nothing about you. Actually, I have chills. They were very clear as you were talking. Your spirit. What I love about when I go on holiday, spirit is like, whoo, comes back clean. That's why I think about my own self sometimes. Actually, no, it has nothing to do with you. It actually has on their level. You can see a lot of these old school boards. This is what goes on, and you are bang on in this energy. What's happening is they get afraid. You come in, you start to waken them up. So what happens every time people like you or myself go in and start to shift the energy, you're awakening them to more of who they really are, right? And your meditation actually started to stir the energy up, which means now, and I'm going to use exactly what they said, they were kind of a little bit drone-like, and you actually started to wake up the people, and that scares them because they need them to stay in the system. Has nothing to do with you.
Okay.
You did a good job. You did an excellent job. And so I'll remove where you thought it was rejection of you, because that has nothing to do with you. They're afraid. And right now, know that this last half of the year is really going to push even more of this. Like we saw it starting in the last couple of years, but it's going to be push more of these systems, which is ironic. Like you're saying, okay, they're supposed to be in this field of wellness, so let's expand, but they're not in expansion. If it's not outside if it's anything they see is outside their parameters, you can see energetically it's no. Yeah, you woke them up.
Okay.
You actually did a really good job.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I got really good feedback, but I was thinking, maybe because I've lived most of my life against myself with my programming. I thought, do I still have a block in me that's blocking my success or my expansion? Because I really want to expand.
No. So what we're going to do is I'm going to open up some lines for you to be able to do a similar, it looks like it'll get tweaked a bit, but we can actually start to open. Do you want to stay in with corporations? Because the corporations are going to start to expand more, right? They're going to start to look in how can we have more wellness. They're going to really hit it in the last half of this year. They're going to have no choice moving forward over the next couple of years. So people like all of us that do this, they're going to really need to understand what's going on. So what I'd like to do is open the line. Now there is the person that actually connected you through there originally still wants you there, like still wants this to happen.
Yes.
What we can do is also strengthen that a little bit differently and open that more, because it looks like we still have some wiggle room. So let's not cut it off. Let's actually expand it, because they still want you there, and they're just trying to get through this other level. So there might be a different kind of creative solution that could come forth from this. And that's what I want to actually focus on for you, if that's okay.
Right. I appreciate that. I love it, because I've always felt that I'm not done with that school. My soul just keeps saying, you're not done. There's something you need to do. So talk about listening to your soul vibes, and being connected. So I feel it. And I feel, I feel like, maybe I don't know, Tracy, if you can see this, but in terms of, I know I'm on your money call tonight, but quickly, just I felt like, am I blocking myself financially? Am I not taking enough action with my work to expand? Because I'm ready to expand, and I'm not afraid to make more money. I'm not afraid to be more creative and be me.
And that's taken many years to get here. And I'm so grateful for every piece of my heartbreaks that I've had to get me here. But am I doing something wrong maybe?
No, there is a little bit of residual that goes so the way they show, not uncommon with people that do what we do in this field. So what I am going to break here is a little bit residual of, in the old, and it's coming through the religious line. So in the religious line, there's an old programming, and this is brilliant. So anybody listening, I'm going to pull this out for all of you because I'm so tired of this one. But it shows up all the time. It's common, and it's really showing in yours. So in the religious line, there's a teaching that if you have gifts or you're able to connect with your intuition or your energy, however they want to call it, right? That's no, you shouldn't be paid for it. How dare you? And that goes back through history, right? That the only people that can help you or pray for you would be priests or ministers and that's an old teaching because it's all around control, right? So there is a little resistance in the field of, if I'm doing this, am I able to be paid for it? So it comes from the religious line. Does that make sense with what I'm saying? You get that?
It does.
Yeah.
I get it. I get it.
So and I hear it even too. Like I hear it from people throughout, like I've been in the space for now full time for over 9 years. And I've heard it throughout the year. Oh, well, if you have that gift and you have these people that are being restored and things are happening, well, you shouldn't charge for that, and I'm like, so what, you're going to go work for your job and not get paid? Like you have to have an exchange, right? So I say that to people now and they go, oh, I never thought of that. But that's where it comes from. It comes from this old teaching. And so we got to understand where it comes from. And that's where when people are like, oh, okay, because people who work in this field a lot of times are also classified as part-timers, or they're classified in the creative realm, artists, right? So singers, dancers, actors. Oh, you guys got to struggle, which is a bunch of garbage. So I'm going to pull all of this out. And the reason we're classified in that same group is because what gives you connection to the God consciousness 100%? Singing, dancing, creative, moving energy, being in the God energy, like artwork, painting, drawing, sculpting. That's why they don't have it in schools, right? All the time, because when you're connected that way, you become aware, you awaken more of your true self.
Yes.
And heaven forbid that happened. That's why they put the field of poverty in those areas. If anybody's listening, that's why they put the field of poverty in there.
I agree.
Let's get rid of that.
So much more.
Yeah.
I do. Thank you so much. And I just have one last thing, if I may, is something that happened to me before my head injury was I have that work ethic like my dad, where I was working, and I exhausted myself among other reasons. And I know that was part of the reason why I collapsed in 2011, among other reasons. And after that, as I started healing and working on myself spiritually by myself, being my own test pilot to the things I started doing, as you know, Tracy, I feel something that's coming up in the last little while for me is I'm afraid that I might go back to that place where I burn myself out, even though I'm so great. I'm in such a flow in my life and the most harmony I've ever been in my human form, in my mission, loving what I'm doing. I've grown so much, but I'm scared to maybe that's in me somewhere to grow more, because I'm afraid, what if I can't handle it and I overwork myself? And then I feel like that stops me from putting up my Etsy shop or doing this mini course, because I'm thinking, what if I can't handle it? But I don't know where that's coming from, because I'm in a place where I'm so aware that I can handle everything and I don't really have anxiety about life anymore. So why is that coming up for me?
It's coming up because you still have 40% of the energy that's tying back into the connection of that old way of working. It's also connecting into the collective consciousness. So that 40% in your cell memory is actually connecting into the collective consciousness, where it's saying, work hard. That they still do it. You see it all the time. I have to work really hard, and everybody's plugged into their cell phones and overtime, or I might lose my jobs. There's a big field out there like that, right? So that 40% that's sitting in your body is pulling in the collective consciousness that if we work a lot, then, or we get into, because here's the thing, and I want to push this into your field and reset it for you, because I think it's going to help you a lot, is I work a lot in terms of, for people are like, wow, you work a lot, but I play hard, but it's not work to me. I am having so much fun all the time. I don't look at my stuff as work. What's work to me still is the admin. Like you got to do it, right? But it's not my love. Am I joyous when I'm doing admin? No. But some people are. I guess if you're a accountant, I'm like, I don't want to do that. I want to be with people like you and the groups and having fun. So I don't mind when I'm actually out of the energy, like I was for the last 10 days. I was restoring and regenerating, but I missed what I did so much. I was getting antsy, and people were like, why are you kind of irritated? So I want to get back to what I do. Like, I love what I do. So you see the difference in the energy? Most people are like, I don't want to go back to work. But we're like, when we love it, you're like, get me back. I want to create. I want to have more. Like, I've got so much creation. That's what the energy I want to push you into. And if you forget about it sometimes, if you need a reference, you can always just say too, like, plug into that energy Tracy was talking to, or her energy. It's all within you, but it'll be a reminder just because I'm another physical body that you could relate to. Right? Yes. Take that.
Yes. Oh, I appreciate that. I appreciate that so much, because I'm thinking I'm in a different place. And to me, the work I do is not work. It's just sole purpose. No. So I feel like I'm a bird just flying, and I love it.
Yeah. And that's why we're going to disconnect that 40% from the collective consciousness. We'll remove the work, and it's joy and it's fun, because we call it work, but it's not really work, right? You're just loving what you do.
No.
Yeah. So let's reset this for you. And when we're resetting, you're going to feel that's a lot lighter. It is coming out of the respiratory area though. So you might feel like if you're coughing a little bit more, it's that life force energy that's cleaning up in that area. So you might want to take a few breaths. You might have a few burps, but then it'll start to move through. Does that feel better?
Okay. Yes, it does. And thank you so much. I'm looking forward to the call tonight and just removing any other blocks I might have.
Oh, we're going to have some fun tonight. I'm glad you're there. The spirit of poverty is a big one. Right? It's huge. So
I know. A lot of fun. Sometimes my husband's energy just falls on my head, and I'm like, cut, I let go. Thank you. Let go. I don't want it, But I'm good. Thank you so much, Tracy. Awesome. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you. And to you too. Take care.
Take care. I love the callers. I know we still have callers on the line. Please call in next week. We're at the end. I can't believe it. No more dinging. Yay. Karen was just talking about our global online call tonight. It's the last one of the year. Hot summer is a discount if you want to join us for the 50% off. You get a replay, even if you're you'll be in the energy. So come along and join us. The global online calls are going to be moving to the people that are in the effortless realm, the miraculous realm. If you are on our monthly reoccurring global online call, you will be moved into the new. You'll be grandfathered in for those new events. So it'll be lovely, but we're just gonna fine tune it a bit. So check us out, tracylclark.com. Take all the shifts today, guys. Everyone I shifted for somebody else, you will get it too if you're listening to this program. So make sure you tune in. Transformation Talk Radio every Tuesday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific, where we're going to shift you and make you see how amazing you are. You're not broken. We're just awakening you to more of who you truly are. Have a great week, everyone. And I will see you next week right here on the Transformation Talk Radio, Tracy L. Clark Show. See you then. Thank you for listening to the Tracy L. Clark Show with me, Tracy L., where I teach you how to live your extraordinary life. Tune in every Tuesday, 8 a.m. Pacific on Transformation Talk Radio, where I combine ministry, science, and spirituality, revealing the steps you need to transcend perceived limitations. As a remarkable leader and pioneer in my field, I, Tracy L., will provide insights energetically and the tools required to move you forward. For more information on my partnership program, check us out at tracylclark.com.